Okay, welcome to the driveway. Today we're going to be talking about making cordage, and I've got some things laid out here for you. The way I learned cordage was I started using paper bags. What happened to me is I was sitting at work one day, a little bored, and I had read about this, and I thought, well, I don't have any natural materials to do this with. Woe is me. And I realized that there was a bunch of this paper laying around, a little bit thicker than paper. I've also done it with straws. You know, the paper that straws are in, sitting at restaurants waiting for stuff to come in. But the thing you got to do is kind of get it rolled up a little bit, where it's not going to fight you. Okay, and the way you do this cordage thing is whatever material you've got, you start to turn it opposite directions. And it will eventually, not too long, start to twist itself in the middle. You're going to get that little thing going on there. Doesn't matter what you're using. And then you're going to tilt it up, and you're going to start, twist it, same direction, pull it down, twist it, pull it down, twist it, pull it down, twist it, pull it down. And see the little braids you're making, and the way it's twisted, it makes it want to stay together. Now this is a longer piece. You just see it makes a very strong cordage. But now this is something you would probably know more about seeing people do it with natural materials. So let me show you some of that. This is cedar bark. It's one made the same way we just did. You just take some cedar bark and find some strands. The longer the strand you start with, the easier it is, because you'll have to splice in when you run out. So get you a piece that you can work with, kind of play around with it. Okay, here's a good piece right here. Now everybody will tell you find the middle, but I say go a little bit to one side, because you don't want to have to splice in at the exact same place. So go about here. See, it's got a little bit of length on one side. Twist it till you get it, till it starts to make its natural little turn there. And there we go. And now we're just twisting, folding under, twisting, folding under. Some people do it the opposite. They bring it up with their their pinky finger. But you're just bringing it up, bringing it up, bringing it up. There are people that can do this like a machine. They just knock it out, buddy. Little rope machine people. And you can imagine sitting by a campfire, squinting your eyes trying to do this. Probably be more of a breakfast activity. Sometimes it starts to get a little thin, and I just kind of bring some up, make it a little fatter, bring it down. Bring it down, twist, bring it down, twist, bring it down, twist, bring it down. Now, you're going to have to splice. This piece is getting shorter, and what I was saying about keeping it not in the middle when you bend it was, you don't want to have to splice at the exact same place, or you're going to have 2 points of weakness where it can pull apart rather than one. So let's get out a piece like this, and we're just going to bring this into our twist. Hope you can see that. And then we're gonna just keep on going down the road. It's that easy. Okay. Now this other side's getting thin. Let's do it one more. So we'll twist some of this in on the other side now. Just get it in there and twist it in, twist it in. Twist it in, twist it in. Sing some songs. It doesn't take really any concentration at all, except when you get to those nodes where you've got to splice some in, and then it takes very little thought, especially if you have all your fibers laid out. I just kind of grabbed a handful out of this bucket. But you see where we're going here, and you get a nice piece of cordage. Now, that's about as good as I can do with this cedar bark, but there's something here locally in North Georgia that I like to use, and it's tulip poplar. And if you find a tulip poplar, it makes a pretty flower, and look it up. It's hard to miss once you've seen it. You can make a much finer string because this bark, the inner lining just comes right out. I mean, you see the outside. Once you get it off and it's dried pretty good, you can just pull it out. And there are hard pieces, and you want to set those aside, but these soft pieces, they just flake right loose, like paper. It's like paper. And so, let me scoot that apart. Here you go. Let me just try to show you. It comes apart, and you can divide it. I just keep getting it in sheets. I try to get as thin a piece as I can. I hope this video doesn't go too long. I wanted to show the whole arc from how I had kind of learned it to getting thinner and finer pieces of cordage. Let's see here. So you got a few pieces separated here. And you can get long sheets of this too. I just happen to have some firewood that I was able to harvest this from. And again, you just start your twist. So let's do this as if I'm your hands here. So we're going to take a piece of this poplar bark. I'm going to rip out some of this inner lining here. We're going to start to separate out these fibers. Sorry for the truck noises. I am sitting in my driveway as usual. So there you go. You got a little piece of this fiber. And what you're going to do is just going to start twisting it. Twist it the opposite directions. And you'll see how it wants to do. It wants to make that turn. Let's do that again. It wants to make that turn there. And then you're just going to readjust your hands where you're pinching that. Right? And you're going to bring it over and down. And twist it, go down. Twist it, go down. Again, this is poplar bark. Twist it, go down. Twist it, go down. Twist it, go down. Twist it, go down. Twist it. Twist down, twist down. Left, right. Okay. And you just keep doing that. And now we're getting ready to splice a piece in to that short side. Okay, so just find another piece. Find another little piece that's going to work for you. Now you just twist it in. You just twist it in, and in a few twists it'll become part of your rope, part of your cordage here. I don't know if that's thick enough to call a rope. We'd have to add to it quite a while. And there's the end of that piece that we just are leaving. And now we're getting into the new part completely. Now we twist. Now, see how that works? There's your cordage. We'll do another piece. We'll add another piece here. Okay, so here we are, getting short on this side. Now this is why I say don't start twisting right in the middle like most people do. You want your splices to be offset. You don't want them to be right together because it weakens the cord doubly. You're always going to have a little bit of a weak point wherever you splice. So don't double up on it if you can help it. But it's just it becomes something you can sit and do and not really pay attention to, and listen to the birds and lean over and throw a stick in the campfire every now and then, and you look up and you've got 3 or 4 feet of it. The hardest part is really going around and gathering the materials, and you really want to, I like working with it dry. At least once it's dried out, it's shrunk mostly as much as it's going to. Some people like to re-wet it when they're actually twisting it, and I get that. I don't much like to, but if you re-wet it, it's not gonna lose anything. It's just when you work with it when it's fresh, if it's wet at all, that's gonna give you some problems, I feel like, because of the shrinkage. It's kind of like basketry that way. It's better to let your stuff dry out and then re-wet it if you want to later. That way you're dealing with it when it's mostly the size it's going to be. But I hope this is coming through better from this angle. But it goes quick. It goes quick. You can also just sit and talk to people. See, we've made a pretty good length there. I'd say in 10 minutes you'd have plenty to do a few traps, at least one or two deadfall traps with string engines. Maybe not a long snare tied to a snapling kind of thing, but a sapling. My vocabulary gets weird sometimes, don't it? Anyway, and all I do at the end, and you may have a better way, is I just take it and I work the knot up. Just a simple knot. It's kind of like burning off the end of a piece of paracord. All I'm doing is tying this in a little knot so it won't fray past that point. But to only do that at the very end of your string. So there's a maker's view of string from poplar. Woohoo! Start your twist. Let me show you. It makes itself. Get that first twist in, and then you're just twisting down, twist down, twist down, twist down, twist down. See that fine little cordage there? It's really pretty stuff. But you see, I mean, it's pretty good cordage. I find this string cordage, this cordage from paper bags, to be kind of funny, because it's an example of upcycling, I guess. Upcycling for the primitive. Does that make any sense? But you can get it really, really strong depending on how thick you cut your strips. And you can also braid this back in to 2 or 3 other pieces, and it's almost like climbing rope, believe it or not. I wouldn't do that, but anyway, that's my little thing about cordage.